was told this week, safety first, fun second. I want to invite Gerald Schilling, Mary Kay Jackman, and Haley DeVault this morning on the chancel with me. We had the wonderful opportunity of participating in the Jimmy Carter Work Project with Habitat for Humanity. Dallas-Fort Worth was chosen as the host city, and they constructed 60 new homes and rehabbed 40 homes, a total of 800 volunteers every day. And eagerly, Wilshire, as we always do, signed up, and we had over 30 volunteers throughout the week. We were able to get to know and love a woman named Yadi Garcia, whose home we were able to help build. We were able to pray with her and dream alongside her as we installed siding and laid down sod. Yadi is a young woman who is studying human services currently, hoping to obtain her master's degree in social work. She is one of 10 siblings and has many nieces and nephews. And through our conversation, what I realized is that Yadi serves as a source of support for her family and for her friends. I want to ask our volunteers a few questions. The first question being, why did you choose this volunteer opportunity to participate in?
I had some familiarity with Habitat for Humanity. My son had worked for a couple of years here in Dallas with a group, and I liked the approach. I'm from the era of when we were fighting the war on poverty, and poverty seems to be so elusive. And I think the Habitat for Humanity has the most comprehensive approach towards the totality of helping somebody, because they not only try to provide a house, they require 200 hours of training, they teach them how to budget, and they teach them how to manage a house. And one of the things that was really pointed out was the need to have a stable schools and neighborhoods, because in many of those neighborhoods, the kids may go to several schools in a given year because of where they have to live, and this will provide some stability in the community.
Well, I had contributed to Habitat. You get the letters and so forth. I'm sure many of you do. And I had contributed money for many years, but with Vision 2020 and with Heather and with the encouragement of getting out and actually doing something and actually being God's hands and feet in the world, I decided to, even though I'm not as handy up and down ladders as I was 30 years ago, I can still hammer a nail, I can still paint black paint on the floor to show where the studs are in a wall, and so and also I can get out of everybody's way. So I just wanted to do it, and I encourage all of you to do it. By the way, if you haven't signed up for landscaping later this month over at the Residence Row, you ought to do that too. I'll be there.
I agree. It's amazing what you can do, even if you don't think you can. And I likewise had never been a part of a Habitat build before, but knew of the organization, and I think we oftentimes try to support something by giving money or baking a meal, but the idea of going out and using my own two hands and my strength to help out our fellow neighbors was very appealing to me. Very happy I did it.
Well, part of mission is looking for how God is active in the world. So by your participation in the Habitat build, how did you see God actively involved?
In many different ways. I would say God was involved in this process. I think when you're out there doing something to serve your fellow neighbor in your community, God is probably involved in it. But I was very surprised that I was so moved, that God moved me so much by the experience. I spent a day putting siding up on a house, and I did not expect to be blessed by that experience, but I was moved in so many ways, and definitely God moved me by that process.
Well, I saw God working from that morning when Katie and Stephen Murray drove us through the hail over to Oak Cliff. He got us there safely, and he was there on site in the food tent, in the house itself, just walking on the streets, going to and from, various facilities. And it was God bringing everybody together. There weren't any strangers on this site. There were just friends that we hadn't met before from all over this country. And that was God at work. It was a whole God thing.
Well, when I look at it and think of the world, how divisive it's become and how much negative energy we have in the world, and you go to the tent and you see so many people working together, and you know, some are Republicans, some are Democrats, some are independents, some are Catholics, some are Baptists, some are Jews, and you see the unity and you can see the power of the positive motivation that you can have from that.
Well, as I watched President Carter encourage Yachty to choose wisely from the men who would now line her doorstep, I watched her smile grow from ear to ear. And as we said our goodbyes, she gave us hugs and thanked us deeply in helping her reach her dreams. I think we left with our hearts full. And isn't that about mission? Thank you.